Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Brother Aswari, I know you're here. You wanna make an announcement? Tomorrow, inshallah, meet and greet. And the family night, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. That's what time will it start? Huh? Okay. The fourth bus, alhamdulillah, we have 4 buses going to Austin, inshallah, for the protest. So all of them are sponsored, alhamdulillah, free of charge. Some brothers, mashallah, and some sisters sponsor 4 buses, but we still have few spots left, inshallah. So if you would like to register, do we have the link on the website? On the website, inshallah, you can find the protest, inshallah, in Austin. Everyone join us, bismillah. We're honored to have Imam Abdul Malik, mashallah, still with us. And inshallah, he's going to share a few words with us. Man, barakallahu feekum.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم. How many of you understand Arabic? Raise your hand. Hi. Okay. So, how many don't understand Arabic? Raise your hand. The rest. Okay. So I say that for a very specific reason. I didn't come to speak, but given the opportunity, I'll take advantage of the moment. In the recitation of the Quran, it is one of the most fundamental lessons that we forget real easy. In the beginning, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was creating Adam, He says, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Now, when you study the word khalifa and khalifa, beyond the political terminology of a ruler, really the khalifa is someone who has offspring, someone that will come after. The angels have a very important question, which I want you to think about, because if you read the Quran and you look at what goes on in the world every day, wallahi, the Quran gives you so much insight. But if you just read it, you think, oh, this is really... No, read and think. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels, verily I'm creating in the earth one that will have offspring. The angel says, will you create one that will cause mischief and the shedding of blood? Subhanallah. What do the angels know about the shedding of blood? And what do they know about mischief making? Have they seen something before that brings them of great concern? They said, will you create one that will be a mischief maker in the earth? And one, in the midst of making mischief, they will be shedding blood. Shedding the blood is murder. Allah said, I know what you know not. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. He said, I know what you do not know. Now, why do I mention that? Out of the offspring of Adam, does not only come those who are mischief makers, not only those who are the shedders of blood, but the greatest of Allah's creatures of creation amongst the prophets have come from Adam. Abraham, a man who became known as Khalilullah, not a mischief maker, not a shedder of blood, but the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he finds his greatest blessing where? In the midst of the storm. Abraham's greatest blessing is in the storm. It's in the fire. When Abraham is in the fire, that is his greatest moment. In the fire, in the midst of his storm, he discovers the majesty and the power of Allah, where Allah tells the fire, not only be a place of coolness, but salam. Because had he turned the fire cold, he would freeze. But he wanted to make it the correct temperature. Why? It's a demonstration that in the midst of your storms of life, Allah is forever present if you believe. Not just mischief makers. From Abraham, we have Ishaq and we have Ismail. Huh? From those come many. We have Moses, who is the recipient of the Torah, a liberator of an oppressed people, who Allah describes Pharaoh in those days as one that would kill the male children and let the women live. You know, one time I was in, and I'm doing the talking here, so don't worry about getting in trouble. Sometimes Muslims, they say, no, brother, we don't want to get in trouble. You can record, I'm doing the talking. Okay? Good. So look, one time I was in New York City in the police department, police headquarters, and I asked the police commissioner, I said, I want to ask you a question. Do you have the system in place like Pharaoh? He said, this is a social question. I don't want to get into it. I said, no. You lock up so many black boys in this city and you fill up the jails with African-American youth. They make up less than 20% of America's population and 95% of your jails. It seems like you have a plan. Why so easy a young boy is getting stopped? Stopped for what? Oh, you're walking down the street. No, it's systematic. There is white supremacy that is systematic part of governmental policies and procedures. And if you close your eyes to it, you'll become a victim of it in due time. Because don't tell anyone I said this. The Muslims in America, you are the new blacks. You are the new blacks now. You're going to experience the challenges of what it means not to be part of the power structure unless you come together and unite for the sake of Allah and push back in the pursuit of justice for all people. You can help Palestine more than any Muslims on the planet Earth. Muslims in America. You have the capacity. Why? You inside the house. And I'm going to prove it to you. But I want to go on. Ibrahim in the fire. Musa. Wallahi, the Quranic story is amazing. They want to know would there be mischief makers and bloodshedders. Musa, as a baby, where Allah put him at. He put him in Pharaoh's house. Pharaoh is looking to kill the person that he knows has been prophesied to come and dismantle his kingdom. So he's killing all the male children. Where Allah put Musa? In his house. Ya Rabbul Kareem. Yudabbiru al-amra min as-sama'i ila al-ard. He controls the affairs from the heavens and in the affairs of the earth. Allah is in charge. Don't think what's going on, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have a plan. You just don't know the plan, so it seems painful. You say, Allah, where are you? Ya Allah, Ya Rabb, Ya Rabbul Alameen. Just wait, don't worry, be easy. What you see, you are moved by your emotions. Wallahi, if someone is shaheed, they are looking back, laughing, Ya Allah. They're worrying about me and I'm here in Jannah. Allahumma lakal hamd. Think about it. If you knew right now you could lose your life and go to Jannah, you wouldn't stay here another day. I would not go right now if I knew I could make it on the other side. But out of those came Isa ibn Maryam. Moses is the liberator of an oppressed people. Allah put him in Pharaoh's house. Look at the strategy. Pharaoh's wife says, not this one. Not this one, honey. This one, we keep. Wallahi, if you look in the Quran, there are three key women that saved the life of Musa. Number one, his mother. Number two, his sister. Number three, Pharaoh's wife. And you know what's amazing? When Musa was found by his sister, he would not do something simple. He wouldn't eat. What did she say? She said, I know a woman that he will eat from. She didn't say, give him my brother. She didn't say, that's my brother. Give him back to his mother. That's my brother. Give me my brother. That's him. No. Hikmah. I know someone he can eat from. Where is she? Bring her close. Moses in the house of Pharaoh, he grew up. But what's the beauty of Musa? In Pharaoh's house, he always knew he was not of the Egyptians. This is a very important point. Some of you Muslims in America, you forgot who you are. You're trying to be someone other than yourself, and that's why you get rejected. Because you're trying to be something that you're not. I'm going to tell you a secret, don't get mad. I was listening to two young brothers, one Bangladesh, one Egyptian kid, right? They were talking to each other in front of the masjid. And they said, yo, nigga, listen, what time are we going to meet? I was like, whoa. I was like, they make niggas in Egypt and in Bangladesh? That's an American product, subhanAllah. I'm shocked that they use this language, but they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know. They think it's cool. They say it all the time. Wallahi, the youth, they say it all the time. So Moses in Pharaoh's house, but there's one thing Musa remembered. I'm not of Pharaoh's children. and he's looking for his people. But Allah used 3 women to save his life. So the angels want to know, are there mischief makers and shedders of blood? No, they are prophets and messengers and righteous men and women that also will come from the children of Adam and Eve. So Allah is showing you in life there's always a balance. There's light, there's dark, There's life, there's death. There's rich, there's poor. There's sickness, there's health. In life, it's balanced by the opposite. Wherever there is peace, it's only because people have prepared for war. You know that. You know America, mashallah, a great country. They have one of the biggest military budgets in the world. You know that? You know war is business, right? So when you make all these war machinery, you have to get rid of this stuff. So you have to fight somebody, someplace, somewhere. But also you have to play the boogeyman game. So take, for example, he's scared of me, right? But I'm scared of him. I bother him, he goes to him. He says, look, Brother Abdul Malik is bothering me. He says, Habib, be patient. I go talk to him. He comes and says, Abdul Malik, this guy, I need you to leave him alone, but I'm going to tax him. He's going to tell him, pay me $100,000 every year for protection. But he says, if he decides he doesn't want to pay a little bit, go scare him. He says, no, scare him now. I want him to pay $150,000. I go back, yo, listen, man. He called him. Hey, Abdul Malik is bothering me again. He comes to me, listen, leave him alone. He tells him, look, man, $150. It's a game. You know the masses of the people, you don't even understand the game, and it's played right before your eyes. They know the masses of the people be emotional, screaming. This game is way above your level. Wallahi, this game, if you can see the plays of this game, it would blow your mind. Some of the players at the table for Palestine, some of them are Muslims. They're at the table. Some are Christians, some are Jews, some are black, some are white. Because you don't know what's in Palestine that they have found, or what they may be looking for, or what the plans is for the Red Sea, new bridge they're trying to build from Africa into the Middle East, and so that they can have trade throughout Europe. You don't know the bigger issue. You don't know the plans. You think it's just war. It's bigger than war. It's business. Then you get to Isa ibn Maryam. Allah make Isa have the capacity to make the blind see, the deaf hear, and resurrect the dead. By Allah's permission. Not a shedder of the blood, but Isa ibn Maryam, with all of his power and his devotion to heal the sick, to make the blind see, to make the deaf hear, to resurrect the dead by Allah's permission, guess what? They said, kill him. Wallahi, they were plotting to kill Isa ibn Maryam. Why would you kill such a good man? Because that's the nature of evil. They look for good people to harm. Palestinians, they're not bothering anybody. They're not bothering nobody. In fact, they let people in thinking they were being helpful. MashaAllah, you can come here, stay with us. Wallahi, if you travel to any Muslim country, especially in the Gulf states that I've been to, a total stranger will always take you to his house and feed you. Wallahi, I wanted to prove a point. I went to Qatar and Kuwait. I don't wear the American flag, but this time I put it on. I put the American flag on. I said I'm going to prove something to all the American people, that Muslims are not against America. They're against American foreign policy that is harmful to the Muslim community and causes damage to the world. That's what they're against. So everywhere I went with the flag, everybody was nice. No one was mean to me. And I even made a live video. I made a video live to prove my point, that no one is angry with the American people. Muslims all over the world in general, they have good hospitality. They have a good affection. And you know how you know Muslims are not against America? Because Muslims are buying American products all over the world. Every shopping mall you go in all over the world, the number one brand is an American brand. Everywhere you go. So the conflict is never with America. But why do I say that? And I'm going to end on this point. People say to me, brother, I think the American people are against us. I ask the first question, who are the American people, if not you? We are America. This is our country. You say, brother, not me, brother, I'm an immigrant. I don't care what you are. America is a land of immigrants. The only people that came to America that were not immigrants were my ancestors chained to the boats. But everyone in this country is an immigrant. And you have every right to be here like anyone else. Don't ever make yourself feel or think this is not your country. This is Allah's land. This is the land of God. Allah created this earth, and wherever you go, you are home. Now here's the question I leave you with. What's your vision? I said it before, I say it again. What's your vision for being Muslims in America? You can protest, and that's good. Protesting is good for some people. Protest. But are you going to organize yourself after the protest, or are you going to wait for another tragedy and then protest? And then protest? Are you going to get a think tank together and say, you know what? Let's make a plan 50 to 100 years on the map. 50 to 100 years. Beyond your death, or after your death, when you're gone, what do you want this community to look like? I'll give you a simple example, and then I'm going to finish. Because we're not mischief makers. We're good people. Allah has put barakah in the human being. There are good people every day doing amazing things in this world, but you don't see it on the news. They're amazing fathers, mothers, doctors, lawyers, janitors, teachers. Every day they get up to do amazing things with their lives, but it doesn't make Fox News and CNN. Why? It's not sensational. So get away from sensation. Turn the TV off. But I want you to think about something. Right now, you use Costco's parking lot, right? They told me sometime there's 1,000 people making Jum'ah between the 3 Jum'ah prayers. And mashallah, you have this new space. When you open up in Ramadan, you're going to see Muslims come that you have never seen before. Because they're coming. Frisco is a hot spot. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're going to look for Muslim school, masjid. They have opportunities here. The business community is here. Franchises are moving here. Now, I just asked one question. You know you're growing. What do you do tomorrow when Costco says, look, we like you, we have no problem with you, but the Muslims, you're jamming our parking lot and we don't like it. And the customers are complaining. No disrespect to you, but no more parking. You shouldn't get mad at them and say we're going to boycott them. Why are you going to boycott them? It's their parking lot. They run a business there, and you're not the only customer. But you had a chance. Over here was a piece of land for sale. It was sitting there. You could make a beautiful parking lot. You didn't buy it. Somebody just bought it. That's your fault. It's your fault. You know why I say it's your fault? Because if I had the power of the unseen, and I went right here on the wall with a magic marker, if I wrote down the money you have in the bank, and the cars that you drive, and the salaries that you make, you have more than enough money. That is peanuts for you to have purchased that parking lot. But you wait. Oh, mashallah, somebody else will do it. Oh, mashallah. Then when there's a tragedy, they say, oh, they're picking on us. No, they're not picking on you. You're not planning for yourself. Palestine could have been solved. How many rich Muslim countries? You have Muslim brothers that sit on golden toilet bowls, and they have ships that they pay $150 million for, but they have not given a dime to the children of Palestine. Not a dime. So whose fault? It's our fault. Our fault. Okay, they're destroying Gaza. Okay, when the bomb stops, who's going to go rebuild? Who's going to rebuild it? Because it will be rebuilt. You know that. But who's going to invest? Who's going to put the money for education? Sometimes you have to stop fighting, and you have to weaponize the minds of your children. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects, agriculture, technology. How many of you use Uber? I'm using Uber around the world when I travel. You ever use Uber? I ask myself one question. You mean to tell me all these Muslim kids we have in Muslim schools, you don't think there's one kid that could have came up with Uber as an idea, and we developed the software and the application? Do you know how much money Uber is making? Wallahi, I was in my friend's restaurant. He's a business owner. He said, brother, Uber is 50% partner, and I never met them in my life because nobody calls the restaurant no more for delivery. Everybody orders with Uber. Everybody uses Uber Eats. I said, are you joking? He said, Abdul Malik, I never met Uber. But DoorDash and Uber, they're the kings now. So you mean to tell me we have all these Muslim kids? We can't think of one way to create one billionaire so we don't have to beg in the masjid no more. We just need one person that Allah touched their heart to be a billionaire, and we can expand. Easy. But if we don't have a billionaire, I bet you there are Muslims in this community right now. Wallahi, if they want it, they could buy you an easy 200 acres and it won't bother them. There may be somebody in this community, their house is 5 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 20 million. I went to my friend's house one time in Orlando. His house was 40,000 square feet. How big is this masjid, Imam? Huh? 18, right? So his house is twice his size almost. So I went in his house. And he invited me in. I told him I want to interview him. Because our brother told me, this brother's house will blow your mind. I said, okay, I'm going to interview him. I brought a whole camera crew. My camera crew was all Jewish. They were stunned. They couldn't get the cameras up or anything. They was amazed by the house. I said, listen, we have limited time. Put the cameras up. Let's go. The brother was so nice to them, he told them, you come back next time, we play tennis, you can play golf, no problem, come back. So we're walking his house. Wallahi, this brother is so beautiful. I said, brother, I want to ask you a question. First, what's your favorite book to read in life? So he said, I'll show you my bookshelf. We went, he reached for a book. What book do you think it was? Huh? It was the Quran. Look, he's from India. His name is Nurullah Khan. He reached for the book. He said, brother, it's the best book. I said, okay. I said, brother Nurullah Khan, will ask you a question. He said, before you ask the question, let me explain something to you. I know you think me living in this house is a waste. Because I don't have the experience he has. I don't know his reality, right? He said, brother, I built this house because it's better than sitting in the bank. When I build this house, it's not the first house he built, 40,000. Then basketball players from the Magic, they all buy the houses from him. So he built these houses, he live in them. Then the NBA players, they come, they say, Nurullah Khan, we want your house. And then he let them have it. He sold that one, he built another one. For him, it was investment. For me, I'm thinking he lived in this house by himself. It's only him and his wife. So I'm thinking, why do you have this space? For him, it's investment. So my ignorance would cause me to make a judgment that I don't understand. So I said, okay, I'm going to ask him another question. I see the Rolls Royce, the Phantom Rolls Royce, those fancy cars, $450,000 cars, I said, brother, I ask you one question. Why do you think Allah give you all this money? He said, oh, brother Abdul Malik, it's not for me. He's using me to do what I should do. So he said, don't tell anybody why I'm alive. I built a school for 4,000 students and I pay all their tuition. He said, I didn't ask anybody for a donation. Now, Nurullah Khan, you can find him in the masjid before he died at Fajr and Maghrib. He was an old man. When I say old, maybe like 80, but he still drive himself. And he always sit there. His heart was so pure. I ran into him in the mall, in the hotel, Peabody Hotel. The Muslims had a convention, but they couldn't pay the bill. So they told them, Salatul Jum'ah will not start and the convention will be canceled. I saw him in the hallway. I said, Nurullah Khan, how you doing? He said, good. I said, I need to talk to you. He said, I work out upstairs in the hotel because the hotel is owned by my friend. I use the gym. He said, what do you need? I said, the Muslims have a big problem across the street at the Orlando Convention Center. He said, brother, what's the problem? I said, they haven't paid the full bill and they can make Jummah prayer and it's going to be big embarrassment. He said, okay, who do I talk to? I told him. He went to the people. He took his credit card. He said, pay the bill. And then I said to him, I want to thank you. Now the people don't even know I went to him. I just didn't want them to be embarrassed with 5,000 or 6,000 Muslims locked out. You know what he said to me? He said, brother, don't thank me. I thank Allah. I'm in the position that I can do it. You should thank Allah. So I leave you with that. Think of what the angels ask. Will you create those who will cause mischief and the shedding of blood? And look what Allah has created. Is there war? Yes. But the whole world is not at war. The whole world is not at war. It's small places, hot spots. If you turn on the news, Gaza is the hot spot. But also Sudan is at war. But look, Frisco, Texas, nobody's fighting here. Look, you're making salah. I was thinking just now, when we was praying, I was like, subhanAllah. And I have to make this my last point for sure to leave, right? Brother, what country are you from? Palestine. Brother, you? India. So India, Palestine. Huh? Pakistan. Bangladesh. Syria. Tunis. Morocco. India. Jordan. Pakistan. Sierra Leone. Morocco. India. Brother, you. The brother behind you, where you from? Albania. MashaAllah. Brother, you, where you from? My brother here. Do you realize that in this masjid is a world community? The UN is in here. You have so much power. Sometimes I don't believe it. We have so much power. We're a global community. But we act so weak. Like we don't know what to do. The problem is you're not reading the Quran. Bloodshed is there. Fighting is there. What to do when they fight, the Quran tells you. When people fight, Allah tells you exactly what to do in accordance to your capacity and based on your locale. That's it. There are already rules of engagement. You don't have to guess. You don't have to let nobody come amongst the youth and radicalize our kids on the internet. There's going to be jihad. Sign up for the jihad. And you're talking to the FBI. You're talking to your own friends, the FBI. They come right to your house. Hey,